I think that Issa was definitely the problem. But, rich friend, today we are not here to talk about the downfalls of Issa. We are here because I rewatched season 1 of Insecure, and I'm here to make a stand for my 9 to 5 girlies, especially those who are working at 9 to 5 and wanting to be an entrepreneur, because there are 3 things that I saw in season 1 that Issa Dee did with her 9 to 5 that helped set her up to become a successful entrepreneur. It's the Bougie Budget here, and we are here to talk entrepreneurship and Insecure all in one. Because I don't know if you picked up on this, friend, but I definitely want to talk about it. On today's receipt, we have 3 major points. Number 1, right role, wrong industry. 2, the power of preparation. And number 3, transferable skills. So before we get into it, I want to make sure that I invite you to join my email list, Young, Rich, and Responsible, for all of your money and career advice. I send an email every week to just check in, making sure that your budget is tight and you are getting your money shit together. So look in the description for more information about that. Point number 1, right role, wrong industry. This all comes about because Issa was a program coordinator at We Got Y'all. And if you know anything about what a program coordinator does, they literally are the ones to coordinate or plan out the events, the execution of the events. And that was something that was pivotal for when she started the block party, because ultimately she was the program coordinator for this company. And when she was working with We Got Y'all, you see at first when she first steps up and she's trying to create some engaging content for the kids, it's a little hard for her because she's all over the place. Issa is literally all over the place all of the time. And it also showed up at work. But she was in an industry and she was in the right role. It was just not the industry that she wanted to be in. And that's where she was feeling the disconnect. You also see this when she's having this conversation with her manager and she's like, your heart's not in it. Your heart's not in it. She never said that she was bad at her job. She never said that this is not the role for you. She said your heart's not in it because that was not what she wanted to do with the kids. And you start kind of seeing Issa come out of her shell and get more excited when she brings Daniel in for the session where he's like teaching the kids about producing music because she loves music. The role was perfect for her. It just was not the industry that she really needed. And you kind of start seeing that over the course of this season where she's not really loving her job, but she loves the impact and she loves creating the content or something for the kids to do. It's just not really the industry. So that's why point number 1 is right role, wrong industry. If you are loving what you see from the Bougie Budgeter, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I would love for you to be a part of that. Number 2, the power of preparation. Issa is like the pinnacle child of what happens when you are unprepared, especially when you see this the first time she's pitching a new idea to the group and she hasn't prepared for it. They're asking her questions about budget, how are we going to get the logistics, and all those like little things that she's not paying attention to that Frida could have definitely helped her with. And Frida really helped her understand that when you are not prepared and when you plan to fail, I know it's super cliche, but when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And when you're introducing your ideas to other people, they have questions. They're going to have questions no matter what you do. And when you are properly prepared, you're ready for those questions. If someone has a logistics question, if someone's like, well, how are we going to plan for this? How are we going to pay for this? What are the small details? When Issa was originally put in charge or given the task to create some programming, it just wasn't there. She had to work with Frida. She had to honestly embarrass herself in front of her coworkers before she realized how important it was to prepare. And then you see that coming back up and also asking for help. So you see that coming back up when Issa does start the block party and she's working with Condola and she's working with all these other vendors and asking for people, preparing for the day of logistics when she hires her assistant. Like there's so many things that she has to do. And I think that without the experience at We Got Y'all, where she literally fell flat on her face in front of all her coworkers, that she understood the importance of preparation. And this also goes to your 9 to 5 is a place where you basically get paid to make mistakes. You get paid to a little bit and figure out what's going to work, what's the best way of working, how to lead a team. And it's not coming out of your paycheck. Because when it comes to owning a business and being an entrepreneur, every mess up falls on your pockets. Every mess up falls on you. And that can be literally heartbreaking because entrepreneurship is ghetto. So I really loved just seeing Issa's growth and having her understand and make the mistakes when she was at her 9 to 5 in a low risk environment versus in front of the whole world or in front of a bunch of people that she's setting up for her own personal endeavors. And there is something to be said about that because again, your 9 to 5 is not just your first investor financially, it's your first investor when it comes to education, learning yourself, learning how you work with others, learning how you run a team, how you prepare for a major project, how do you pitch in front of investors. All of those things can be figured out in a 9 to 5 in a low risk environment. My third and final point of today: transferable skills will save your life. Issa learned so much from We Got Y'all that was able to be transferred into the block party. Leading with finding investors and finding the people that you need to place around you to make an event work. She and if you could not tell in that scene, think about when Issa set up or was a part of We Got Y'all's investor relations. It's at the end of the season, right before, Lawrence find out that she was cheating on him. They have this entire gala set up where she's pitching to investors, talking to a bunch of people, and think about it. Later on in the season, when she is pitching the block party to investors, she does it in the exact same way that she was taught at We Got Y'all. She had the event set up. She had investors coming in, talking to them about what it is that she's doing, what her plans are, and how their dollars can help her create this dream and create impact for the community. She had the numbers ready for them, had the whole idea laid out for them, and had proof of concept. All of those things she learned while working for We Got Y'all. Her manager at We Got Y'all had her talking to investors, showcasing her work, showing what her impact to the students were. And she took those transferable skills and brought it into her entrepreneur life. And I say all this to say, stop hating on the 9 to 5 girlies. And also stop trying to make 9 to 5 girls feel bad if they are not entrepreneurs. Because hear me out. Technically, most entrepreneurs are between 35 to 45 years of age anyway. So I'm a young entrepreneur. Issa would technically also still be considered a young entrepreneur. But why are most entrepreneurs between that 35 to 45 age range? Because they have worked 9 to 5. They were in their 9 to 5s 10, 15 years, understood the business, understood where the holes were missing, but also learned a lot of great skills that they could take from one industry to another. And I think it just also goes back to us being truly multifaceted. And we have the space and the place to be a 9 to 5er and help someone else work on their dreams while still remembering ours and still working towards a new life for ourselves. Just don't let the internet and what you think everyone else your age, especially if you're in your early to late 20s or if you're in your 20s at all, Like, again, the typical entrepreneur isn't starting until they're 35. So don't let the 30 under 30 list confuse you or make you feel like you are late to the game, because you're absolutely not. There's so much space and grace for you to learn everything that you need from your 9 to 5 before you start that entrepreneur endeavor. Or you can just be a 9 to 5 girly, get your checks, cash out, and mind your business. There is a place for everybody. But I hope that you enjoyed this information or enjoyed this topic. I was really excited to talk about it because Insecure is definitely one of my favorite shows. And if you have any questions, any money questions, make sure you join the email list and subscribe to my channel. And as always, go make that money, friend.